So for this exercise, the first thing we're going to do is export our EMP mast and payroll tables into Excel tables. Our point here is we want to go through the same exercise we did earlier, but visualize it using Power BI. We're going to find those records that didn't match in payroll to an employee number in EMP mast. Now I could do all of this inside ACL, create a table, export it to Power BI, visualize that, but I want to show you how to join tables and merge them using Power BI. So let's go to EMP mast first, double click on that, data, export. I have to select all the records, all the columns, so select one, hold the shift key down, click on the last one, we get 19. Tell it that I'm going to put it to this directory here, so just plain old EMP mast. Save, click OK, overwrite that. Okay, that's all fine, let's close those two. Do the same for payroll. All the columns, go to my OneDrive and call it payroll, I guess, because that's what the exercise says to do. Okay, minimize ACL, we don't need that anymore. Call up that folder. There's the EMP mast, there's payroll. Let's double click on payroll. And if I just do that, there's my data. Okay, all ready for import into Power BI. So let's close out of Libra. Let's minimize that, fire up Power BI to a new project. So I now, in section B, I need to attach EMP mast and payroll to Power BI. Let's get our data. Excel, connect. It's gone straight to my folder, so let's open up EMP mast. So that will give us a source over here. Yep, click on that, load it up. Loading, loading, loading. There's our EMP mast. And of course, here in the data tab is where we have all of our data. Let's get, we've got EMP mast already. Let's go off and get payroll. So there's payroll. We can see that we've got EMP mast and payroll. To do our visualization, this first exercise, I want to end up with a table that shows me just those items in payroll that don't have a corresponding employee number in EMP mast. Let's take a look at how we do that. To achieve that, what we're going to do is do a query. We go to Edit Queries, and we're going to merge and do it merge queries as new. So this is going to create a new entity, a new table that I'm going to call payroll-EMP mast-outer. So let's do merge queries as new. Now, the first thing that's a problem is it's launched up with EMP mast as my primary table. Now I want to do a left outer join again. So I want my first table to be the one I want the resulting records from. And I want to know payroll records that don't have a corresponding employee. So it shouldn't be EMP mast there, it should be payroll. EMP mast is our secondary. And we tell it our keys. Now we had a similar sort of thing in ACL. Here, we click on the column EMP no. We could have multiple, if we had multiple keys, we hold the shift key down and click on other items, or perhaps control, like that. But we just want EMP no. Find EMP no in EMP mast. So now we've told it how to join these two tables. Now, if I was going to do a proper join, just a normal everyday join, if I did that, it gives me 42 out of the first 44 rows, and it's only going to give me those 42 rows. I want an outer join. a left outer, which is going to give me all the records from the first and all of those records in the second table, being EMP mast, that match. Where they don't match, we won't have anything to show. So let's click OK. That's given us a new table. So in our new table, it's called Merge 1. Now I'm supposed to give that a name, which is going to be payroll, and I might as well do it now, payroll-EMP mast-outer. So there's my table. That's all good. You'll see that the primary table, it gave us all of the columns. Now I could remove some of those if I wanted to, just by right-clicking and removing. So if I didn't want all of those records, I could just remove them. In this case, I want all the records. Over here, it's given us EMP mast. Now, it's just given us table and a column, and it's got a funny little squiggly here. Before I take a look at that symbol, here are the two records that were problematic, 108 and 109. So we got nothing in here. If I click on this record here, okay, it's given me, it's drilled down to the address record and the detail record in EMP mast. But what I wanted was not that. I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back. All I need to do is go to here and delete the navigation. Okay, so here is my first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns from payroll. The last one is all from EMP mast. If I click on this little squiggle up here, I get expand or aggregate. I want to just be able to tell if there is a matching EMP number in here. So if I get rid of all of the columns and just click on EMP no, I'm going to get all of the matching EMP no's in my table. Now immediately you can see that our recalcitrant 108, 109 is null and null. Null means empty, nothing there. It's different to 0. 0 means yes, there's a record and it's 0. Null is there's not even a record, or not even a value to place there. We may not know what it means, what the value actually is. I am going to, because I want to end up with a table that just has these two records in it, click on the drop down, tell it to just give me all the nulls. There's all my nulls. Okay, so I just clicked on the drop down, picked on my nulls. Now, that's great. I don't really want those null records, so I'm going to remove that column. So right click, choose remove, there's my column. I've already saved, given this a new name. So what I'm going to do is close and apply. Now it's doing all of that work and it's created a new field over here on the right. I've now created a join table in Power BI. And if I go to the visualizer, the visualization tab, the report tab, I can now work with that as if it was a proper table. And I don't really want to dwell on this too much, but let's just pick up, let's just do a histogram. Let's pick up employee number as a data field, and let's pick up their gross pay as the value. And we can see 108, 109, we can show that there are two payments made which are from two different employees that are missing. So I could format this, give it a nice new legend, give it a new name, that kind of thing. Or I can do a pie chart, which will be a pretty boring pie chart in that circumstance, or a tree map, same deal. But I can work with this whole record that I've joined. So that's doing that exercise. Now, I'll create a blank report because as a challenge, we're asked to create a new table that joins EMP Mast and payroll together. So EMP Mast, okay, let's go to our data. Now, the first thing I want to do is, it's going to be a new table. So I don't want to edit any of these. I'm going to click on Edit Queries, which calls up the Power Query Editor. I'm going to do a merge as new. I want payroll to be joined up to EMP Mast. It joins up on EMP No. Okay, there's my two key fields. It's not a left outer join anymore, it's inner, only matching rows. Click OK. That's given me all of the payroll records plus all of the EMP Mast. Gross amount paid to each employee. So that's that. What I want to do, okay, I've made a blue. I need to close. I'm going to remove this. And go back into I want payroll this time. Merge queries is new. I wanted payroll first. No, I don't. I want EMP Mast first. Because what I want is the employees in the columns, and then payroll, I'm going to add up the value of the gross amount. Payroll is EMP Mast is my first table. Payroll is my second. Join on EMP No. Make it inner. So that's good. Click OK. And then out to the right, I've got table. Now there's a number of things here I don't care about. So what I'm going to do is just delete. I don't want the city, country, ed level, hire date, even job. I don't want any of those. I'm going to remove those columns. I'll keep work department. And there's my payroll. Now, what I need to do is click on a little magic here because we want to know how much each person is paid. Did I remove the person? I removed the person. I did. For our purposes, it doesn't matter. I'll just pick up our aggregate, sum of gross pay. So now I know how much each person was paid. And what I'm going to do is if I save that, I've deleted the work number, the employee number. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm just going to rename this EMP Mast-payroll. And having done that, I can now close and apply. It's created a new table over here, which you can see, and I can now use that. In my case, what I'm going to do is do a tree map, put the work department there, and sum of payroll go into values. There's a bit of work to be done there. That's given me a count, not a sum. So some work that I would like to do, but you've got the idea. I've created a table. Here's my tree map. I've got something that I can work with. So I hope you found that interesting. That's the end of this week's tutorials.